Hello, everyone. It is Volshok, and this is BPL Season 3, Round of 16, Group C, Round 2, Winners Game 1. That is quite a mouthful. I hope you all understood and listened to everything I just said there. So this is actually the winners bracket, which is exciting. We're going to see ZLO versus sashkorin. I would assume ZLO is probably favored to win this. He is a higher OS player. He's an incredibly strong and a little bit of an older player. Sash might be considered a bit new, but he's also a super strong player. I am joined by the illustrious ZLO. If you would like to introduce yourself, sir.
I am ZLO. Hi.
Nailed it. We got exactly what we wanted out of that introduction. So if we take a quick look at the bracket itself, round 1, ZLO beat Lopatka, so he's the winner there. And then round 2, sashkorin beat Shoddy, so he's the winner there, which means the winner final now is going to be ZLO versus sashkorin. I feel like, at least for this matchup, we got to see what ZLO was capable of, right? He played quite a few longer macro games versus Lopatka. I think game two on Canis River was good. Game 3, no, not the Canis River run. The Feast of Hades game, he did an awesome job on. But all of them he did reasonably well on. So I think we got to see him quite a bit. sashkorin, we didn't get to see a lot of versus Shoddy. I think that is the shortest series in the entire tournament.
Yeah, that was pretty dang short. I mean, I've gotten to see sashkorin play quite a bit of like training games, so I have some sense of like how he's doing. And if I were to put predictions right here, right now, I would actually say sashkorin is looking a little bit better right now, I think.
Okay, all right. I like that, and I like not only the statement, but I also love the incredible bold confidence that you have with it as well. I had a similar level of confidence with my predictions for the groups. I don't know if you remember how those turned out, but I'm gonna let you know right now. Sometimes confidence isn't everything, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that's how she goes, that's how she goes. So we got ZLO, we got Sash, and we are waiting on some bans from the boys.
Yeah, I think I mean, in our predictions we pretty much put ZLO first. The majority of us, I think expecting them to get out.
Yeah, I think every single person did, didn't they?
I'm looking at it now. It looks like Barcast actually put Shoddy first.
Hold up. What?
I don't know what that means, but maybe he knows something that we don't know.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
But yeah, I mean, looking at those first few games from ZLO, it looks like he's a little bit rusty. I'm not sure if he's playing his best matches these days. So knowing that sashkorin has been practicing, and he's been practicing with some really good players, I think it's possible that sashkorin does pretty well here.
Fair enough. So we see shallow straits, we see crystallized plains. I don't think crystallized plains isn't picked very often, so I don't know why it's banned a lot. I guess it's not picked because it's banned a lot, but I think the only people I've seen play on it are like Contra. I remember like Contra Ubervader and then Contra Teddy, and those were back in the qualifiers. Yeah. I don't think I've seen it in the actual main event anywhere in the round of 16 yet. So
yeah, I mean it's a it's a shorter map. Mexes are pretty far away, and it can make for some interesting games, but you have to kind of have a different mindset of pressuring a lot can do pretty well there.
Yeah, fair enough. And then for the actual pick, it looks like we've got some Heartbreak Hill action.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that tonight.
Yeah, I'm curious why people are so hyped on it. I mean, maybe they're just comfortable because they've played it a lot. I mean, I know sashkorin has done quite a bit of grinding on it, and I assume ZLO has too, just because it's been around and he's played it. But
yeah, I mean, I think people generally like Heartbreak Hill. I mean, I don't know if it's because it just reminds them of the StarCraft version, or if they've just practiced on it a lot, or maybe it does make for some interesting games that can go pretty late.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, it's also I think it's one of the best kind of maps that so many people go grunts on it. And so it's a great training map for if you do actually want to practice like your grunt versus grunt skills.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's definitely true.
Oh, and I hear game started and I hear players
All right.
loading in. So let's see what's going on here. And Sashkorin is talking to himself. He says OP spawn and he's building an air lab.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Is it going to be another short one, huh?
Yes, I think so. I think Shoddy has corrupted everyone. And ZLO, is he going to go 2 mechs or 3 mechs? If he goes 2, oh, he's going to go 3 mechs. Oh, no. An empty king sees it. He's like,
I mean, it's a good map for 3 mechs, but yeah, maybe that's why it's a good map to punish that with the transport play.
That's true. Although we have seen quite a few people actually go 2 mechs on it. They just go 2 mechs bots because you want to get the expanded cons out as soon as possible. So ZLO gets all 3 and he queues up a grunt first, which I think is actually super important to do.
Now, I think I remember seeing Kuchi do this in this position. Or something similar.
He did, but as I recall correctly, it didn't work out well for him. So we'll see. Not Shoddy. Good God. Sashkorin eats the lab and he is gonna fly over. ZLO is still building some energy. He hasn't boosted out this grunt yet, and he really needs it. So he's gonna get 1 grunt out, which will let him trade a little bit favorably. But Sashkorin is gonna start flying over now, and let's look at this from ZLO's vision. What does he see?
Oh, that grunt might see it ahead of time.
Oh, and it does.
Oh.
So he sees it there. And
barely.
He immediately drops the LLT. He's like,
yeah,
no. So Sashkorin is going to land. He kills the transport. Sashkorin does kill the lab. He's still building this LLT. He needs to move his comm. So,
oh man,
Sash has this, right? Grunt's coming in.
Yeah,
he can get some flanking damage. I think his comm is too low. Nope.
The grunt gets the guns. So yeah.
Oh, he's gonna try to self-D some. I don't think he gets this at 13. No, Sashkorin has
That's
this.
not enough.
He's okay. All right, Sash. Well, and he hits him with
good showing.
Offensive GG. Well, maybe not offensive, but ZLO GG's him back. That was certainly, as our illustrious colleague Ural would say, that was one of the games of all time.
Certainly. Yeah. I mean, we've seen a lot of failed attempts. I mean, it's kind of cool to see it actually work out.
No, I agree with you, Archie. I was just thinking about that because I feel like I've seen it. That might be the first time I've actually seen it work well. Yeah, it's the first time aside from the Sashkorin Barcast game. So Sash knows what he's doing, right? I guess so. He's practiced this and he is on point. So good for him, man.
It kind of makes me wonder, like, what compels somebody to like do that? You know, is it like, oh, I think this opponent's better, so let me just cheese, or is it just like, I want to be goofy and do this, or maybe it's just I'm tired and I don't want to play a whole bunch of long games.
You know, I actually think that I don't know if it's either as much as, I mean, there definitely are the things where like, hey, I'm tired, I don't want to play long games, or hey, I think he's better than me. But I also think it's just great to have a ton of build diversity and be known for build diversity, because it's one of those things where like we saw the games where when Teddy was playing Shoddy, he would literally go LLT before lab, because like that's what Shoddy does in so many games. And so he's like, I'm going to damage my own economy slightly, but I'm going to have this backup LLT. And it's like that LLT, if you do get comm dropped, the LLT saves you there. But the other thing it does is if you don't get comm dropped, it kind of like you mind game the opponent, and then they are wasting, you know, early build power, early metal, early energy into stuff that they don't need right away, which kind of gives you an edge.
Yeah, well, that's a really good point. Just the whole idea of having a variety of builds under your belt. You know, and those mind games can be pretty damaging for longer series, for sure. Yeah, and you know, I mean, these are BO3s, but I think that you know, even just having those 3 chances definitely can work out really well, or definitely, you know, I think it's important for those. But that is game 1 in the books, and we are going to go to a brief break, and we are going to go to game 2. So we will see you there.